Mars in 5th house. The planet Mars is the giver of immense potency, for which it strengthens the aspects of this house, and so on. The natives born with Mars in 5th house will carry immense vigor and would be very energetically inclined towards the worldly pleasures upon this land. They carry very muscular and impulsive personality and love to confront risks and challenges in life, but they lack at the side of patience. The natives of this placement of Mars in 5th house or bhava would be quite aggressive in their approach, besides which they are quite attached to materialistic comforts and are somewhat showy in their attitude. They would be somewhat possessive in their relationships and could also become jealous at times. They are also endowed with creative and artistic attributes. The natives of this placement having Mars in 5th house or bhava would be liked and admired by their friends for being vigorous, affectionate and fun-loving, but they will face some problems in intimate relationships and would often change partners. These people having Mangal in 5th house are believed to have energetic and active children, besides which their sons would become a reason of affluence and prosperity in life, and there will be explicit growth in the native's life after the birth of son. The things related to planet Venus and Moon will appear beneficial and truly positive for the person. This placement of Mangal in 5th house would appear more pleasing with the span of time in life, but the immoral relationships with opposite sex would result very adversely for the native and will be the main reason behind lack of peace and agony for the person. The natives of this placement having Mangal in 5th house should stay on the moral path and should keep her character pure. They should worship and pay respect to their ancestors and should plant a neem tree in the housing arena. They should keep a water pot below the head side of your bed for the whole night and should drop the same water in a flower pot in the morning. Mars in Aries. Mars, a masculine and fiery planet, has Aries as its own sign, so naturally, this position is considered positive for Mars. People born with such a placement of Mars are quite strong, sturdy, aggressive, dominant and high in energy and stamina. These people are fond of indulging in physically demanding activities. They do well in military, police and other challenging areas. Such people are quite original in their ways. They like to work on their own and like to create new ideas than follow the existing ones. Their life is a series of adventures. These people love to take part in adventurous activities. They are quite intelligent and decisive. There is a certain swiftness in their personality. They like to do things fast, including driving, which can be risky at times. These people also have an argumentative nature. They do well in debates but often end up hurting people with their tone and aggressive instincts. These natives cannot stay at one place for long. Along with temper, their character is also marked by a streak of egoism. They are, however, quite honest in their dealings and say what's in their heart. Mars in Aries people are impatient, reckless, innovative, spontaneous and straightforward, quite like an open book. 5th Lord in the 5th house. When 5th Lord sitting in 5th house, if the planet is in good dignity, then the native is very intelligent, good in discrimination, unjudging power in speculative business, good in scripture knowledge and practice, have good children, playful, interest in sports, entertainment, romance and get love from mate. If the planets are not in good dignity, then the native may have problem with children, have eye on other people money, invest in wrong things, problems with children and romantic partners. 12th Lord in the 5th house. When 12th Lord sitting in 5th house, if the planet is in good dignity, then the native seeking for higher spiritual learning, study the old scriptures, teaches spirituality, destined to be in spiritual field due to past life karma, children will be spiritual, may have affair or love romance with foreign-born person or in foreign country and may work in orphanage. If the planet is not in good dignity, then the native may love affairs or in romance, lack of love from romantic partner, children may face problem, lack of intelligence, problem in pregnancy, and problem in spiritual practice. Mars in 6th house. The planet Mars is the giver of supreme potency to the natives, for which it also empowers the aspects of 6th house in this placement. The placement of planet Mars in 6th house would make the native emerge as highly vigorous and active persona at the workplace. The natives of this placement of Mangal in 6th house are truly sincere and serious towards work, besides which they carry lumps of energy to their workplace and strictly wants others as well to possess the same, as they will hate lethargic personalities in the work arena. They are strong hard workers who would put all the effort to accomplish their work well. These people are quite aggressive also and can easily turn irritated, which would be the main reason for their bitter relations at workplace, and for the same, they could have some enemies and foes as well in the professional arena. The people born with Mars in their 6th house would not be flexible in their attitude, neither they would provide freedom for work to their co-workers. Apart from this, they are overly concerned at their workplace and could acquire unreasonable worries at times. They are quite impatient at work. They are intellectual and skilled at organizing and analyzing. No doubt they are really good at work, but they also want the recognition for the same. The natives of this placement of Mars in 6th house would receive admiration from their superiors and are believed to succeed in their professional arena for always giving their best, besides which bringing some softness and flexibility in their attitude could improve the work environment around them. The natives of this placement of Mars in 6th house would be benefited from the trading and business related to Mercury stuff. Besides this, the placement of Sun, Saturn and Mars together in the 6th house would bring problems to the brothers, sisters, wife and mother of the native. The native's brothers should offer him, her something and should pay him, her respect, as it will bring them prosperity and would defend them from adverse impacts. The native should distribute salt instead of sweets on the birth of son, and her son should never wear gold for the good of native. The native should pay worship to the Lord Ganesha for the well-being of her parents and to win over the enemies, besides which pursuing the remedies of planet Saturn will also bring betterment in the native's life. Mars in Taurus. Taurus is governed by Venus, a feminine watery planet. It shares a neutral relationship with Mars, which on the other hand, is a fierce masculine energy. When Mars is placed in such a stubborn sign having a delicate planet as its lord, its energy is not as active as in other signs. People born with Mars in Taurus have a low physical drive and level of activity. However, their mental concentration is outstanding. These people learn a lot from their experiences and mistakes. In fact, these are some of the most determined and stable people. They have a strong penchant for beauty and arts such as music, paintings, luxuries, etc. due to the influence of Venus. Some of them also have an artistic talent up their sleeve. These natives want to live a luxurious and comfortable lifestyle. Mars gives them the ability to manage their money wisely, so they tend to have a strong hold over financial matters. Such people tend to be inclined towards love and sensuality. In fact, at times, they also have more than one lover. They often feel dissatisfied with their spouse and relationship. They can also be overly possessive and violent in love and sexual matters due to the overflow of energy given by Mars. 5th Lord in the 6th house. When 5th Lord sitting in 6th house, if the planet is in good dignity, then the native is service-oriented, have good skill in healing, do social spiritual service, have good romantic strength, kids are active and have good fighting ability for disease, have love for animals, use alternative therapy in healing disease. If the planet is not in good dignity, then the native may have problem abortion, miscarriage and arguments and fighting with children, children sick often, may adopt kids, lack of love from mates, trouble in dating and investments, may have problem with government. 12th Lord in the 6th house. When 12th Lord sitting in 6th house, if the planet is in good dignity, then the native do service for liberation, eventuality have prosperity, provide service oversee, devotee or volunteer, works in health field, defense area, self-improvement, yoga instructor, in office administration, animals works, active in charitable and humanitarian work, and work in disaster situations. If the planets is not in good dignity, then the native do labor jobs, work as a servant, no support from people, not able to take right decision, irritated, may have debts, may get punishments, and problems with sexual satisfaction. Mars in 7th house. The planet Mars or Mangal is the giver of immense potency and makes human beings strong from the core, but it also bestows aggression and impatience, which is the reason for its being malefic at times. The arrival of planet Mars in the 7th house would bring some adverse effects upon the native's life, and it will provide an average path of relationships for these natives. The natives born under this placement of Mars in 7th house are perceived to confront problems in their conjugal path, as they would find difficulties in getting married as well as during their walk over the conjugal path. Besides this, they won't have much and many strong relations in the outer world, as they would face some problems in their professional arena as well. The main reason behind all of these problems will be their hasty and impatient attitude and their violent mental composure. Besides this, they would get surrounded by similar aggressive people in the personal as well as professional enclosure. This placement is pleasant for taking the native towards good heights in the arena of sales and marketing, for the native being competitive at the core. The natives of this placement of Mars in 7th house would confront conflicts and quarrels in their relationships and would lead unstable conjugal path, for which they would lack peace in their marital life. These natives having Mangal in 7th bhava are advised to marry someone who could understand them well and who would possess a mature attitude. These people having Mangal in 7th bhava are quite inflexible about other opinion, for which they are advised to give a thought even to oppositions, as they could also be at the right side at times. They should try to avoid arguments. The 7th house receives the influences of both Venus and Mercury, which together provides the impacts of Sun. Therefore, the placement of Mars here receives the impacts of Sun as well, and so on. The native would attain strong positions in the professional and social arena and would be bestowed with good affluence and heights. Apart from this, if Mercury get placed along with the planet Mars, then it will bring adverse impacts upon all the aspects associated with Mercury, as there would be problems with sister-in-law, nurses, maidservants, goats, parrots, etc. In such placement, the natives are advised to stay away from all of mentioned above. The natives born with Mars in 7th house should place a solid piece of silver in her house and should offer sweets to daughter, sister-in-law and widows. He or she should build a small wall and destroy it every time after rebuilding it. These measures would bring betterment in the natives' lives. Mars in Gemini. Gemini is an air sign governed by Mercury, which is an earthy neutral planet. Mercury and Mars are inimical towards each other, so this placement has quite a lot of contradictory energies working together. When the intellect of Mercury meets the energy of Mars, the native is often a logical and intelligent being, skilled at many arts. Such a person is quite active and involved. Mercury also gives the native a strong foothold in poetry and passion. These people are highly intelligent and quick learners. They also have a strong desire to go abroad. Gemini is a dual sign, and when Mars is placed in it, the native is likely to have good sense of judgment and laws. Such a person often indulges in superficial romantic encounters and relationships. These natives have a habit of pursuing new experiences in romance and love matters. However, they are constantly restless, like on a high-strung mode. They do quite well in sports, especially cricket. There is a lot of nervous energy in their temperament, which keep them stressed and mentally drained all the time. Their mind is always occupied by something, which keeps them agitated and distressed. These natives should practice calming activities such as meditation to quiet their overactive mind. 5th Lord in the 7th house. When 5th Lord sitting in 7th house, if the planet is in good dignity, then the native will be extremely passionate about business. The native will be of friendly nature, jolly nature, lucky in marriage. They will have good relationship with his or her children. They will be well satisfied in terms of physical needs. These natives are kind-hearted and have love for their partner. The native is blessed with good marriage. The native will forms good business deals and agreement, business related with speculation and gambling, sports, entertainment, and partner is spiritual. If planet is not in good dignity, then the native is sexually overactive, partner remain unsatisfied sexually, not able to do business in proper way, trouble in foreign business, children may born in distant place or away in foreign country. 12th Lord in the 7th house. When 12th Lord sitting in 7th house, if the planet is in good dignity, then the native seeks unbounded relationship with divine, may have foreign partner and business, travel to pilgrims, partner does well if live separately, partner may work in marriage counseling or conflicting mediator. If planet is not in good dignity, then the native divorced or separate, loss and troubled relationship, marriage not good for business partnership, sickly partner, uncooperative, unconfident and may have debts due to partner, business and partnership not work out. Mars in 8th house. The planet Mars or Mangal is a giver of immense potency and is a powerful celestial presence which would further provide strength to every aspect around. The placement of Mars in the 8th house would provide an energetic and vigorous approach towards the life, besides which it will provide the blend of both positive and negative impacts upon the native's life. The natives born under this placement of Mars in 8th house would be quite hasty and aggressive in their attitude and would put all of their efforts and hard work to reach the pinnacle. Besides this, they are born with a strong intellect and vision to perceive the truth well. For the same reasons, they would be naturally inclined towards investigation and researches in which they could grow really high, as well as in arenas associated with medicine, law and finance. Besides this, they are very efficient in bringing out solutions and untangling the threads. These people having Mars in 8th house possess invincible strength and are quite firm in their path once they have decided, for which they are believed to achieve what they want to. These people having Mangal in 8th bhava are believed to succeed in their professional arena, but they won't be much satisfied at their relationships and even could feel the lack of love and warmth in their personal life. These natives having Mangal in 8th bhava could bear the losses in joint financial aspects. There could be some financial problems in natives' path. The presence of Mars in the 8th house would bring some colors of scorpions in the attitude, for which these natives could be somewhat disguised and covetous at times, but they would expect the loyalty from others so that they could also stay like the same. They could be aggressive and reserved in their temperament and would be strongly passionate at the core. The presence of Mars in the 8th house would bring adverse impacts upon the younger brothers of the native, besides which the immense firmness in the native's attitude could also become the reason of losses at times. They should pay respect and services to widows and should wear a silver chain for the reduction of malefic effects. These people having Mangal in 8th house should offer sweets and bread prepared on tandoor to dogs for the betterment, and should offer rice, grand pulse and jaggery in the sacred places meant worship. They should build a small dark room at the end of your house in such a way that no sunlight would enter it. They should bury a earthen pot filled with tishi kandina near to a cremation ground. Mars in Cancer. Cancer is a movable water sign ruled by Moon, which is a feminine watery planet. Mars on the other hand is a fierce and masculine planet, but it shares a friendly relationship with Moon, so the placement of Mars in Cancer turns out well for a native. If you have Mars in Cancer, you are likely to value your physical energy more than your emotional strength. A mix of Moon and Martian energy make the person mentally strong and resolute, since Moon represents mind and Mars represents power. Such natives need an outlet for their reserve of energy, and they tend to express their energy in an emotional fashion due to the influence of Moon. These natives are not demanding and assertive, instead, they tend to be compromising in nature. However, that doesn't mean that you can make them compromise on their beliefs. Natives with Mars in Cancer tend to be independent and hardworking. They make serious efforts to realize their ambitions. Due to overflow of feelings, Moon, and sensual needs, Mars, these people tend to be overly passionate in love and sexual matters. They do well in sports, especially water-based. Sailing also appeals a lot to these people. 5th Lord in the 8th house. When 5th Lord sits in 8th house, if the planet is strong, then the native is interested in dark and hidden knowledge. They like to study in metaphysical, mythology, fantasies, and science fiction, have good knowledge in scripture. They have long life, can do meditation for long time. If the planet is not in good dignity, then the person may worried for children, confused mind, may adopt children, unsatisfied, weak mind, have mysterious disease hard to diagnose, make poor investment, may have trouble in dating, Feel lack of love from romantic partner, not able to stabilize mind, face difficulty in meditation or other spiritual practice. 12th Lord in the 8th house. When 12th Lord sits in 8th house, if the planet is strong, then the native may involve in medicinal field, gains from others, might get inheritance from other, unexpected and unearned money, interested in spiritual and hidden, interested in dark side of the life. The person can be very intuitive or insightful. If the planet is not in good dignity, then the native shy, lack of confidence, not focus in making living, lack of pleasure, problems with reproductive system, lack of support from partner, and may face loneliness in life.